What really makes a country? Is it the flag? The anthem you sing? Or is it something more real? Like the ground under your feet? The food you buy at the store? The ports that bring you everything you own? For decades, we thought we knew who controlled these things. But what if that story is no longer true? So who really owns the ground beneath your feet? Who controls what comes into our stores? Who holds the keys to our future technology? The answer might surprise you. Because increasingly, it's not in Ottawa or Washington. It's in Beijing. This isn't a conspiracy theory. This is a documented strategy, executed over decades, right out in the open. It's a quiet conquest, fought not with armies, but with contracts and cash. Today, we're pulling back the curtain. We'll look at the three key parts of this strategy in North America: the land, the infrastructure, and the influence. Let's start with the basics, the land itself. For the Chinese Communist Party, controlling resources isn't just about making money. It's about national security. They have 1.4 billion people to feed and a massive industrial machine to run. So they went on a global shopping spree. Let's start in the American heartland. You've probably heard of Smithfield Foods. They are the biggest pork producer in the United States, by far. Well, in 2013, they were bought out for almost $5 billion. The buyer? A Chinese company with deep ties to Beijing. Just like that, China gained control over a huge piece of the American food supply. This means they have leverage over what ends up on our dinner tables. And it's not just Smithfield. Chinese companies now own hundreds of thousands of acres of American farmland, often right next to sensitive military bases. And that has the Pentagon very concerned. Now, let's look north to Canada. Canada is packed with natural resources: oil, minerals, and the key ingredients for the 21st century. I'm talking about lithium, cobalt, nickel. The stuff inside every battery for every electric car and every smartphone. For years, Chinese state-owned companies have been buying up Canadian mining firms. They aren't just buying mines. They're buying control over our entire green economy. The West is racing toward the future, but Beijing is buying the raw materials we need to get there. So, they're buying the land. But what about the things that make a country run? I'm talking about infrastructure, our ports, our energy grids, the arteries of a nation. And here, Beijing's plan is even more ambitious. Take our shipping ports. For years, Chinese state-owned companies have operated terminals, right here in some of America's busiest ports, like Los Angeles and Seattle. When you control a port terminal, you see everything. You know what's coming in, what's going out. You know where a country is strong and where it's weak. In a conflict, that kind of control is a powerful weapon. Canada had a huge wake-up call in 2018. A famous Canadian construction company, Aecon, was almost sold. This wasn't just any company. Aecon builds critical stuff: nuclear power plants, transit lines, even military facilities. A Chinese state-owned company offered $1.5 billion for it. But Canada's own intelligence agencies sounded the alarm. They warned that the deal could give Beijing access to national security secrets. After a massive public debate, the government had to step in and block the sale. It was a near miss, and a reminder that the goal isn't just to do business with us. It's to own the very companies that build our countries. But the most important part of this strategy isn't something you can touch. It's digital, and it's political. It's a fight for our data and for influence. You've heard of Huawei, right? For years, they tried to build our 5G networks. They offered cheap, advanced technology. But there was a huge problem. The company that builds the network controls the network. And under Chinese law, every company has to cooperate with state intelligence. Handing them the keys to our digital future was just too big a risk. But the threat has changed. Now, think about TikTok. It seems harmless, right? Just dancing and memes. But its parent company is based in China. That means the personal data from over 150 million Americans and millions of Canadians is ultimately accessible by Beijing. But even worse is the algorithm. What if Beijing decides to secretly hide videos that criticize them? Or what if they promote videos that create chaos and division in our society? It's the world's most powerful propaganda tool, and it's on your phone right now. This fight for influence goes all the way to our universities and to our politics. Intelligence agencies have warned about this for years. They've warned about foreign interference right in our elections. It's a direct attack on our democracy. So let's connect the dots. A farm here, a port there, a social media app on your phone, a mining company. Individually, they might not seem like a big deal. But when you put it all together, you see the pattern. It's a patient and very strategic plan to gain influence in every critical part of our lives. Some people say this is just business, just globalization. But it's not. Western companies invest to make a profit. Chinese state-linked companies invest to advance the strategic goals of the Chinese Communist Party. Those are two very different things. The goal isn't to invade with an army. It's to make us so dependent that our own freedom becomes negotiable. The first step is just to be aware of what's happening, to understand that the world is changing right under our feet. This isn't about creating fear. It's about understanding the world we live in. It's about having an honest conversation about our future. Look, this is a complicated issue, and we've only just scratched the surface. If you want to keep digging deeper to understand the hidden forces shaping our world, then make sure you subscribe to this channel. And click that notification bell because we have so much more to show you. Because the question isn't just who owns your country. The real question is, what are we going to do about it?